Hello, everybody. Welcome back to vlog number 8, session number 8, and we have convened, minus Roma, to talk about what happened this last session and get some thoughts out there.
We miss you, Roma.
We do.
You're here in spirit.
So,
So where do we want to start?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Start at the beginning. Let's
What
I
start.
just want to
happened
work our way
today?
through. Yeah, work our way through the episode.
Yeah. So coming out of the center scenario, and let's just say the splicer talk
Yeah.
at the with Chase, not Case, and Cassie.
We could just say case and include them both in it. You know,
chassis?
chassis, which is reminiscent of droids.
Yes. It's very sciencey. Chassis.
So I'm pretty excited that came out sooner than later.
Oh, were
Just
you
to
wanting
get-
it to come out?
Yeah, just to get the idea out there, so that I didn't accidentally irrationally do something stupid. Like I would like other people to at least be aware of
Yeah.
what's going through Chase's mind, just in case. So, but there's definitely some intrigue there because the idea would be if he just witnessed this happening twice now. Well, he didn't witness what happened, but he heard that there was other splicers that caused this thing. At that
Two
point,
involved in that one.
Yeah.
yeah. So he's definitely thinking if these people are running around with powers,
Kind of fight fire with fire thing.
he wouldn't be against injecting himself if he was being irrational. And we needed to do something like now. Like,
Well, I'm
he would
surprised
definitely-
then. In that case, we talk about the splicing, but why didn't Chase do anything with the move injections? You know that were offered like as the
I don't
cheating
think
methods.
Chase
for
knew about
this.
them until after the fact.
Right,
Well,
but
it
we were
would've-
still there at the center. I'm sure he could have sought him out.
Well, that
True.
was I was hoping that would go. That's when the first ideas came. Is that there's a guy with a briefcase with stuff in it that could eject Pokemon, and Chase was near Tiffany when that conversation happened, and then I was going to see if that rolled out.
No,
into
we
something.
went somewhere else for that conversation. She
Did you?
left
Oh,
the
I
room.
thought it was in the green room or wherever we were with the. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I guess that's where it didn't line up. I was hoping that something would.
Oh wait, did Chase not know about it?
Maybe not. Yeah, I think I was waiting
Found
for
out
that.
the last session or this session.
He was told about it because the
Right.
audience was informed
Yeah.
of the
Well, I
performance
guess, though,
enhancing.
we were
so he
told
knew
that-
they
yeah.
existed.
But we weren't told what the
But-
performance enhancements were we?
Tiffany was.
Tiffany
You were
was.
because he tried to
Yeah.
stuff. And I like to think that Cassie knew because she could be like, wait, that Pokemon shouldn't know that move.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then I asked you out of character if that was like an uncommon thing or something like that. Okay, I didn't realize Chase didn't know. All right.
Those were Pokemon inject. Like, I don't know if he'd be crazy enough to do that. He could be, but it was like.
Oh, I think it
What's
was
what
crazy.
stop you? Come on.
He jumped
No.
out the window like.
Well, the splicers thing's an easier step to go to.
Well, it works. Like it's obvious it's
It's
working.
true. It's like we
Something
can
out
see
there
the results. Yeah.
whether it has some after effects is besides the point. But under a crisis, that would be an interesting scenario.
No, that will be interesting to play out. And then, yeah, well, I don't. What's next in the episode? Because otherwise, I'll jump to other things.
Well, I mean, there was a lot at that point. We also started like RP friendsing,
Exactly, like everyone. Well,
We made
Their own
Molly
thing.
blush.
so it's sort
We
of
did.
blurring. Yeah.
I'm sure we made Chase blush too beneath the hoodie.
Yeah. That's why Tiffany zipped it back up.
Hide the shame.
I was telling the players before we started that I felt not unprepared, but not as in control because it's at this point in the story where the characters are really driving what happens because there's a lot of hooks that I dropped in this session. A lot
Really?
of directions
Yeah.
you could go with the story because I gave you a lot
Yeah.
of leads.
I was gonna say like
Yes.
all the lieutenant thing at the beginning. Oh, there's
Yeah.
one here. There's one here.
Yeah.
Five.
So
Wall.
that was on purpose so I could give you options of where you want to go with this plot
Mhm.
and And that means that for me, it's a challenge because I don't know what you're going to go after first and in what order. I have to like quickly like fill in the blanks of some of the things that I haven't had a chance to flesh out as much because I don't know. I try not to flesh things out too much until I know you're going to do something specifically. Then I can flesh it out more. So.
But I feel like we were either going for the spooky plate or the iron plate next. Either Castelia or Castelia, you guys say, or
Yeah.
or Cassie's house.
I think Chase really wants to go to Crystalia, so.
Yeah, I mean he has his stuff tied there,
So-
his whole backstory.
So I guess my question is, for next session, are you guys going to be focusing on the Castelia side quest versus the PC side quest?
I think a plate would come first.
I mean,
It would be happening simultaneously.
So,
They'll be
do we
happening
wanna-
in parallel. So my
right,
question
right,
is,
right, yeah.
which one do you want to play
okay.
out first? They're happening in parallel. If we're
The humans
following,
are the Pokemon. Okay.
You know,
the
I might
humans
actually,
are the Pokemon.
I might vote for Pokemon, to be honest.
All right.
I mean, I want to do the thing as Chase, but I think I have a certain like thing in my head for like Remy to get out, and I would rather that just for selfish reasons. Just
I'm good with Pokemon going first.
carry that through.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay, that'll
and
be
I
good.
think, and I'll give context to that is I think because it ties back into this episode. So the scene with Fern and Remy, I was really struggling with how Remy, like what Remy would say to Fern. And I was prepared to go into there's two things that Remy needs to kind of just let out, but I'm really waiting for the right time and the right person. And when Fern started saying the story of, you know, that she was like being ordered to do things, like that put brakes on me as Remy, because I was like, well, this is not the kind of character who needs to hear my thing. Like she's, you know, innocent and like not even struggling to be innocent, but she's obviously been like ordered around, but she sees it like, but I got food, so of course that was a good thing. Well, no,
No.
that's not. But at
Let's
that
kind
point,
of wishes he were there for that conversation.
yeah, he didn't.
No,
He didn't want to
sweetie, no.
compliment. No, just let her have that because that's what makes her special, right? So he didn't want
So
to.
was
tarnish
that
her.
Remy then holding back on that?
Yeah. So that was eventually me going, I want to do it as a player, but it's not going to be Fern. It's not. She's not going to hear it. I have an idea of which Pokemon it would be, but
Let's
I'd
go
like to see
traumatize you. Come on. Lex has already started the groundwork.
Yep.
So okay, so it sounds like the next session,
Pokemon.
you're basically gonna go into the digital world, I guess.
Yeah.
So are we pocket digital monsters?
Are we becoming the champions?
You're trying. Well, like I said, didn't Cassie get a Digivice? It's essentially a Digivice.
Oh, damn.
Like
Oh, is-
able to like evolve a Pokemon temporarily.
That's true, yeah, that's true.
It's very Digivice-like. I
Nice.
didn't know if that's what you want to name it.
Though it doesn't even work with her Pokemon because Fern needs an evolutionary stone, so
But that doesn't mean you can't use it on other Pokemon.
I can evolve other people's Pokemon?
No.
Temporarily.
All the power.
Waha. Cool, good to know. Keep that in mind.
I will say, so the scene where the opening scene where the lieutenant comes into the room and then just drops that Madison thing, like that literally threw off anything. The only thing I prepared in my head to deal with was the Madison scenario. And then it's just like, nah, it's going to be cool. Well, there's like a conditional probation scenario that I can win. I'm like, holy crap, I don't have to be crazy. This is like, this is like
Wow.
half an hour.
It's
was
Chase.
about Roman's
Give it
part.
10 minutes.
I thought that was good on Roma's part, how she like dropped that in such a casual way, but that actually made sense for her.
Yeah.
Because, you know, how else would it be like, oh, by the way, Chase, Madison, you remember her, right? Like,
That was good.
yeah.
He did say the lieutenant did give an implication in the previous session that he was trying to take care of it, and that he needed Molly to trust him. And so I think he had already thought about all of that before Molly mentioned anything to him, and he already started pulling the strings that he did, because I think he recognizes that Madison is good at what she does. He seems to recognize a lot of... I think one thing that you've noticed with the lieutenant is he notices when people are good at what they do. And he kind of... yeah, he keeps saying she's good at what she does. Well, he notices when people are good at what they do, and I think that's something he can't ignore, even though it might be unorthodox to, quote unquote, team up with you guys. But
Only matter of
something-
time until she dyes his hair. Gotcha. I just need the roots touched up.
That's it.
There you go.
So in that, actually, who is, if you don't mind saying, who's he paying particular attention to? I mean, he called Tiffany, and so I imagine
Romantically, you mean, or just in general?
both now.
Well, since you brought it up.
Oh, jeez.
I meant
Oh,
in
yeah,
general,
yeah.
but hey.
And also, how tall is he, would you say?
6 foot.
I would say he's relative. I would say he's 6 foot.
Okay.
I would say
Ha, I'm
he's
taller than him.
relatively- How tall are you?
6'1".
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Just
wow.
the one.
That is
Tiffany's
true.
like 5'4",
When I first
so...
when I first met Dean, I do remember mentioning that he was way taller than I thought he was going to be. So,
Good times.
to answer your question, currently, okay. Well, before obviously it was Noir just because she interacted with him more, and then Noir was on his radar more because of all of the psychic stuff going on, obviously.
And I know Chase has to be. Chase kind of forced himself, I think,
Yeah.
on his radar.
Yeah, Chase kind of forced
He's
himself
only
on his radar.
kind of sort of stalking him. Come on.
But yeah, I mean, I think currently, just because of, honestly, right now, because of the way that she's been treating him, it's Cassie. Especially considering how she seems to have some indirect ties with one of the plates.
Is this the general or the romantic interest we're talking about?
This is the general.
Okay, I'm sure there's
romantically, I consider Lieutenant Jenny to be very professional in that he's not going to be the pursuer. He will have to be pursued. If
Well, good
somebody's-
thing we have Cobblestone already on that.
Oh yeah,
We'll
I
make
forgot
you and
about
Chase happen. Don't worry.
Yes, if anything's going to happen romantically with the lieutenant, somebody's going to have to be aggressive
Gotcha.
with it. Because right now he's very professional about it.
So what about Molly? I think she's the only one that hasn't been mentioned yet.
What about Molly?
Does he have his eye on her? I'm just wondering.
He definitely is the most sympathetic to Molly. I think that he recognizes that she's trying to be better because he does know that she used to be in the correctional facility and now she's out with good behavior. And I think he recognized that she's trying her best to stay out of trouble, which is why when something happened to Madison, I think deep down inside, Kyle knows that Madison didn't mean to do anything wrong. It's just his hand was tied. I mean, he had to enforce the law,
Right.
and that couldn't get into the way of his emotions. I think emotionally, if he could have let Madison go and just turn a blind eye, he would have. But that's just not the kind of person he is. He can't do that. His code does not allow him to do that.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He tries to be, but he himself knows more than anyone that he's not perfect.
Yeah, the Dr. Elysia Pell thing.
Oh yeah, I was
yeah.
so disappointed I didn't get to roleplay with Roma on that because I thought that would have been really cool. But
But you'll get to first thing, you know.
Actually, no, we're still talking about Kyle for a few minutes.
Chase will walk in and he's gonna walk into the room and she's gonna see like Molly making out with Alicia Pearl on her desk. Whoa, she works fast.
Jeez.
We can start planning Noir. And
Jeez.
get your coffee shop. It'll be great.
Oh man.
So would that be a moon pearl? Would that be moon pearl? Is
Oh,
that
yes.
moon pearl?
I like it.
Could work.
It's almost as good as chassis.
Oh. I swear this is like their first real interaction though, like one-on-one. And that's basically him asking her to
Can
turn
you get
him
me
into-
drugs?
There you go.
Yep, that's our relationship. You seem like a good person. You're gonna work on a drug facility, huh?
Inject me with a
Get me some drugs.
Yeah. Just
Goodbye.
experiment with something, it'll be fine.
Yep. Good friends.
Okay, so I was trying to ask a question about Kyle.
Yep.
Yes.
Tiffany did ask about emotional training, and we know from past episodes there's something in Kyle's past he's not happy about. Is it tied to
Yes.
Jenny's training, or is it something else?
Something else,
Okay.
which has actually been touched on in another session. It's been touched on, but not in detail.
Okay.
Was it that his orphanage was burned down? Because that would be pretty upsetting.
It's about
Yeah.
his big. It's actually about his biggest fear.
Ew.
Is it
Oh,
fire?
he's passed.
Is it Chase?
I answered. I
He definitely-
answered what his biggest fear was.
It was past.
His past,
His past.
which Chase is a part of. Or a Chase is a part of.
That would be interesting.
Yes.
Dig it. I mean, we definitely all forget certain years, so yeah. So is he coming along? Well, I guess we could find that out next session. But Lieutenant Jennings is still coming with us to the city. Then
Castelia City.
Still-
Yeah, that was the plan.
good, cool.
That'd be
He
so
was
cool.
at minimum. He was going to go by himself. At minimum, but if
Yeah,
you
now
guys
he's getting 5 people. It's gonna be
Yeah,
fun.
Chase wouldn't have allowed that as soon as he found out.
5 people whom he adores.
Yes.
Quickly. 2 people who used to go to the orphanage. Flashbacks.
I mean, it might not be anything to do with the orphanage, but it's definitely the city where that is at.
Yeah.
I think you're bound to get some answers.
Hmm Especially because the plate that got mentioned.
Plate.
Yeah, you guys got a very large, as we said, a large data dump on the plates and their
Yes, we
whereabouts.
did.
Yeah. Can't
So-
And I
really
was
do
not
that.
ready for it.
Hmm
Thoughts on any of the other locations that we haven't mentioned, that we haven't talked about? Because we talked about the Iron Plate, we talked about the Castelia City Plate, which is the spooky plate.
I'll have to go review the doors, honestly, because I want to see if they do match up.
Do they seem to match up?
I think they
Love it.
do. Cassie feels pretty confident in that.
Like what,
Rock-
for example? Just what do you think matches?
Rocket has one of the plates.
Rocket has one, and she had a rocket
And-
door. Her dad had one, and she has the 8 ball, the prism, the wall.
The
You know,
wall.
that's like 10 of them accounted for.
Yeah.
Which
So,
one had
yeah.
5 again? The wall?
Over the wall in Johto.
There's a Johto. There's a museum in
In
Goldenrod
Goldenrod.
City in Johto that has all of the plates. That has 5 of the plates.
And Bill
But-
used to live in Johto as well. He has a normal plate.
Bill used to live in Johto as well, and he has the normal plate, but his whereabouts are unknown since the fall of Johto, since Johto's fall.
Unknown, you say?
Unknown.
Oh, and it was the burnt down mansion. I wonder whose mansion it was.
Mhm.
There is so there in the game there is a Poke Mansion that burned down, and I think it is in Kanto.
Oh, I don't remember Pokemon. I was thinking of like Burning Tower or whatever it was.
Definitely watch a
No.
YouTube video with the
Yeah, 'cause
bird
that's
mansion.
Poe's place.
Yeah, that's
And-
different.
That's
There's-
closer.
There's
Is
a
that in the
mansion.
same city?
No, I think that's a different. Region.
Okay, I haven't played second gen in
I
forever.
think
but-
I believe the burned down mansion is like in Seafoam Island or something along those lines.
Oh,
if I
okay.
remember correctly, which is in Kanto. But the implication is it used to be there, then the place burned down, and now the whereabouts are technically unknown. Since,
Right.
since
And that's something to consider too. Even if like the doors, some of them don't seem to match up, we only know their last previously known locations, not necessarily where they actually ended up.
Yeah.
correct.
Mhm.
And there's no
Mhm.
information on the insect and dragon plates
Yes, there's no
location.
information on that. Interesting. Gives you guys stuff. You guys got a lot to do.
Yes,
We do.
yes.
Yeah.
This is the part in the game where you open up your codex or your journals, like all these like, side quests.
World map at long last.
Which
Let's
one are we
go.
going to do first?
I can't
Which one has the
focus.
zap plate?
I wonder if it matters what order we do them in. I
Let's
wonder
go
if it
while through the
matters.
hinterlands. Come
Oh
on.
no!
Oh no!
Oh, jeez.
Johto's definitely gonna be near the bottom of the list. I can That place is high level.
What next?
I think it takes us to the facility. So Molly's
The whole.
scene, and getting Rotim. So it's funny because during the scene when you guys were trying to figure out the password, I was like, I don't know, just try Rotom backwards. And I was like, oh my god, that smells motor.
It does.
Yes, that's purposely. Yes,
And I was like,
on
just
his motor.
spell Rotim backwards. And I was like, man, and I was working out in my head. I'm like, wait, what is it? It's a Rotom. Oh my god, it's spelled Pokemon.
Yep.
That's why you're brilliant. On your little play on words. Yeah. So part of Chase's comment to Molly about do you think he got stolen was, or was it a proactive Pokemon? Did it leave on its own accord? Because based on what I know anyways, is that they can go into whatever electronic device. They don't have to be in that device, right? So it's good to get the confirmation that he definitely logged in, like he logged himself in and then went off. But I'm definitely wondering about, did he do it on purpose so that he could investigate it himself, you know?
If he did it on purpose. Oh, so that's what you think he did?
Is what Chase would be thinking, is did he proactively go for this? Like, or did he get taken?
I'm just pretty proud I thought of all that. I'll take what victories I can get.
You're the smart one.
Unless it's asking a ball a question. Then Tiffany got that one right.
I did enjoy that flashback with Cassie and her dad.
Oh, I enjoyed like all of Cassie's scenes. There was so much information.
It was cool to be able to pick her brain and find out how she felt about science and just see what her relationship with her dad was like.
He was a big inspiration, as you might have noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to drop the whole gods question on you. I don't know if you had a planned response for that, but you answered exactly how I thought he would feel.
Yeah.
So, that's basically Cassie adopted his view of it, and that was what you said. So
yeah. I found it very interesting that you brought up Arceus in the conversation too.
Yeah.
That was very well. That was very clever. It's like, oh, that was some topic you actually talked about back in the day. That's interesting.
That's right, and now it's not out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, man. And then learning about murder, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Always is.
But did you suspect? I'm sure you suspect there was something behind his death.
I did, which is why I had Cassie suspect. I mean, I figured too. So I actually made that kind of the canon reason as to how he died. If you watch my audition video, Shay.
If you watch my audition, Shay.
I believe I said that explicitly, like, oh yeah, but he died due to this because he's working on this. But then, like, after I had, established that in my mind, I thought about it. I mean, it had been multiple sessions. But then I started thinking, I'm like, even if it were, like, radiation poisoning or something, that doesn't, I actually did real-life research, that doesn't happen that quickly, like, there would be signs and stuff. And so then I kind of just had the thought of, like, well, after Cassie could, overcome some of the initial grief and everything, then, you start to question more of the details.
Yeah.
So it's fun that was like the first time it really came out here, and then it's just completely demolished too.
Did you expect the source that it came from?
No.
No.
No. I was just going to say that I was also glad to learn more about Richard and at least his side of the falling out and things like that. What a good guy.
Do you believe him?
Cassie at least does.
Cassie believes him. How about you, Riz? Does Riz believe him?
It's one of those things where like Cassie never, like she said, she was angry with Richard when he left, but also missed him. He was the cool guy that was not her dad, that was also really interesting and came over a lot, kind of thing.
Okay. So he's like the cool
and cute,
uncle.
And cute, yes. You know what I'm laying down.
Exactly.
Did Cassie think it was part of her anger because did she have a crush on Aspen?
She might have.
Interesting.
May have. Ooh, I know, right?
Caspin. Caspin.
It's in the past.
You're older now. I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
you're legal now.
Although employee and employer relationships can be troublesome.
A little bit.
Feel forbidden.
I think it's one of those things where she would have to be pursued. I know that's a new concept, but
Cass is all professional. So
Yes, Cassie's very professional at her place.
but no, there were good revelations. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I was waiting to have a more of a Richard Aspen scene. What are your thoughts on his story?
About which part specifically?
The muck.
Like the muck bit?
Yeah.
I mean, that was really interesting because that's like screaming ew. But yeah, as people pointed out, like ew was from like
An egg.
Tiffany
From
found
an
it as an egg.
So
But-
could the spray regress it back that far?
Oh, I actually hadn't even considered that angle. I was more wondering, does that can it carry over through genetics? Because it doesn't in the games, but in here I'd say it's fair game.
Eh.
But can it regress as far as an egg?
I don't know why not. It does in Digimon. I mean, what?
Digimon.
So that's
Well-
definitely a thing now.
I'm sure the de-evolution
Plot
story was
twist,
very
we are all
experimental.
on the RPG and we never knew.
Yep. But yeah, good guy Richard. Saving that Pokemon, at least according to his story.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking about, Shay?
I was trying to get my dog teacher, and the whole thing is just had you guys talking in the background. I was like, am I on mute right now? Because I was saying things. I won't repeat here,
Aw.
but it was just for Hark's sake. It was not very child friendly. But I was like, did I hear that right? Did I rushing back inside? I was like, oh God, wait, what are they talking about? What's this about? The evolve what? Oh my God, is this because I hadn't seen the chat. I wouldn't know what you guys are like spouting on about like on the side, but yeah, my whole
It was one of Nathaniel's research topics.
Yeah, all I was thinking about was you at the evolve right to the point of egg, and now here he is, not knowing his potential.
Not knowing where he might have come from.
He was born in a lab.
Oh.
His second birth, though,
There's
was on
the
a
truth.
sidewalk.
Oh, much better. Sidewalk, yes.
Hey, he got Tiffany out of the deal. Who got him glitter?
Wouldn't that make him the oldest?
Technically.
At
Because
this
yeah,
point.
that whole thing happened several years back.
Several
Yeah.
years back. Mm-hmm.
But I like the irony of the fact that U is the youngest, although not really, but mentally he is, or at least sociologically he is. And there could be a very good reason for it.
But so question though. So if that is you, and if that happened several years back, and Tiffany found him as an egg, like when did Tiffany find him? 3 years ago?
2 years ago, coming up on 3.
Almost.
Because, Tiffany has to have her birthday first.
Curse several for being vague, but I feel like the regression either took
You
longer.
probably would have said a couple of years ago. Probably would have said a couple of years.
Oh, that did.
Huh.
All right. Throwing off my logic. It's funny because his name is Richard.
Oh, gee.
Yes. The implication is
Sorry.
that's probably where EO came from. That's the implication.
Yay!
That's
Okay,
probably
cool.
where EO came
Glad we got that sorted. Because that was the big thing that was holding me back was the several years. So
Yeah.
all right.
And also, I was like, so is it... Well, the fun thing with mucks is if a big enough part of them falls off, it forms its own grimer, but it's like, no, you came out of an egg, so that's not
EO
how
came
that
out
could
of
have
an
been.
egg. Yep. Yes. An egg that you just happened to find in the middle.
Yeah, randomly on the sidewalk.
Randomly on the side. It was just on the sidewalk.
Mhm.
Was it in like a little basket at least?
No, just on
No,
the
it
sidewalk.
was just on the sidewalk, as if it just was placed there for some reason, just randomly placed there. Why would an egg just randomly be in a sidewalk?
Exactly. It's not Easter.
Unless it used to be a grimer that was crawling along and kept progressing.
And no one saw it, and there was no sludge trail.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, they do leave happy trails.
Maybe it rained.
I'm not sure
the day
I'd call
before.
it that.
Maybe it rained
but-
the day before.
True.
Oh.
Yes.
You
Speaking
all
of-
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking of Nathaniel, like Nathaniel Pine, like some of his research is like, I wonder if he was more involved with the splices than we previously thought.
No, he's a good guy.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that.
Who are you talking about?
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel Pine.
Papa Pine.
Papa Pine. Oh yeah, I'm sure he was very legit. He was such a nice guy in the flashback.
Yeah,
He must be.
he at least really loved his daughter. He can't be faking that.
Yeah, he must
Yeah.
be. No way he could have been involved in anything shady.
Oh, I absolutely think he was. But I don't know about the motives. There's a difference.
Sure, but I mean, Chase's motives are always good in his head.
True.
Doesn't mean he goes about good ways sometimes to get to get to his solutions, right?
Though to be fair, we do consider Chase a good guy, don't we?
Chase considers himself a good guy.
Lux does. That's his bro.
I mean, like Cassie thinks that Chase is pretty weird, like can fly off the handle in his own subtle way. But she does think he's a good guy, from what she knows of him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, lots of good stuff.
How about
Tiffany getting her job.
Tiffany getting her
Yeah.
job? Yeah.
Go us.
Locked in the city.
Yeah.
So we don't split up.
Except for
Yes.
Molly, who's off by herself still.
We got some interesting role play with you and your dad. We got some interesting role play
Finally.
between Chase and Lux. Really cool stuff between Noir and her brother. I like that little scene. It was
that's
simple, but I
adorable.
liked it.
Missed that one.
Glad they didn't break everything.
My brother can shoot laser beams out of his fingertips now.
Oh, Remy's gonna love that.
Yeah.
I know Noir's reaction to that was a lot more positive than I had thought it would.
What did I miss?
He's never
He
got
shoots
anyone to
lasers
play
out of
with.
his-
Yep.
Oh yeah, he can focus
Yeah.
his
Control aura.
Yeah.
So
He just,
Zappy's
like-
happy in the near future, baby.
He cracked a potted plant and then shattered a light bulb.
Oh,
By
snap.
accident, the light bulb.
Yeah.
Remy was in
Yes.
a really deep sleep. Just nice patch of sunlight.
Hmm. Interesting.
It's cool to see the progression too with the aura. And just Fabian's in general. Just how he's he turned on when the conversation turned to that point.
Yeah. You got to find out a little bit more about Jefferson's past a little bit, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, I was a little confused because I thought he would have got Pimple at 10, not 6. So that was suddenly scrambling around, and okay, well, he was just part of the trio now.
No, I feel like his family is very well off, so I feel like
Yeah.
they would have spoiled him a little bit, and by spoil I
Okay.
mean get him a Pokemon younger than
Okay.
the average person.
And that wouldn't necessitate going on an adventure.
Yeah, that doesn't
True.
mean he's going on an adventure. It's like getting a 6-year-old a pet. I mean, a
Yeah.
dog, a puppy. So that's pretty much what I saw it, because I think in his mom's eyes, she got it for him as the investment. This is going to turn into a beautiful, beautiful eye that you can put into contests and stuff.
50-50.
But
And then detox.
so so just to give you a little bit of an insight, I think that maybe she felt that Jefferson did not treat the Pokemon in such a way that would have allowed it to evolve into a Silcoon as opposed to a Cascoon. So I think the mother might have felt that Jefferson sort of failed in some way and sort of mess up his potential, and that might have something to do with it. And then when it eventually turned into a Dustox as opposed to a Beautifly, well, you can start filling in the blanks of
Constance is
actually
Constance.
happened.
Oh, we know what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, like he disappeared, that Pokemon.
I don't know.
I don't
what
know where it
happened.
happened. Let's go look around.
Just don't check the bug zapper, okay?
Oh,
I
no.
don't know where it is.
Giant bugs.
I don't think she killed it. She probably just
Probably
gave it
just-
away.
But on the Dust Talks note, actually, part of me wanted, during like the Noir and Fabian scene, for Noir to be like, now which one's the bad Pokemon? And like Fabian pointed the Dust Talk. I first I liked the inclusion, but then the fact it was like in the corner too.
Yeah.
It's too perfect. Right after that other
Bad.
Pitbull secretly leaguing with Revolting Johto, calling it now.
Yeah, that's where I was going. I don't know if you were joking there, but that's
Partially, but now that's said out loud.
no.
Much like Tiffany grabbing the Magic 8 ball, and it started as a joke, but it went somewhere.
I'm thinking the wall tied to Tiffany, tied to Jefferson, tied to
Yeah.
Pimple, and I'm thinking that all comes together.
Ooh. You know the pills? How like they could be prescription pills? I kind of feel like one of the places with Dr. Alicia Pearl. She has it on the wall somewhere.
She just happens to have a plate. It is associated with Molly.
Uh-huh.
And then the other thing is you met somebody at the at the rally, which I was
have been
waiting for you
for her
to
to
meet.
show up.
I was waiting for her to show up too. I just didn't know what was a good opportunity for her to show up. But
Noir, Tiffany is stealing that card, by the way.
thoughts on Madame Vu now that she's actually appeared?
Well, Chase regrets.
And she knows.
not going to the rally. Sorry, Ella.
We're gonna come back to Chase and his adventure because I have a question about that. Sorry, Madame Vu time.
I think that I will say that that canon wise, maybe on the back of your minds while you're interacting with her, you'll feel like I'm sensing like this has happened before, almost like what's the word? Almost like deja vu.
Your name.
Almost like deja vu. It's like, I feel like this has happened before. Like,
Oh god, yeah. Tiffany did actually pick Psychic because we're gonna be working together.
I think very early on we were either told or we were talking about it in Discord or something about was it canon, and I'm very strictly of the belief that Chase believes it's canon, at least in his mind. Like, I don't know if like he doesn't, because he can't really tell sometimes of what is real and what is not. And so for me, that scene, he doesn't know if it happened or not, but if he saw her, that would have been an extreme scenario for Chase. For sure.
Like, Hark and I confirmed that wasn't canon in my case, but I totally believe Chase would. He absolutely would.
Mhm. Like, he could have imagined it all. Like, it's not, but he would remember the dream. Like, he would remember that scene as if it exists. Like, which is why I blurted out the 797. It's like I have my notes written down as to what would happen if Chase met Madame Vu. If she
yeah, it actually said 797.
I was wondering how you had that so quickly.
Because
Yeah, well, the audition, during your auditions, the building that you guys went to was in Viridian City, so just
I'm just waiting to see if she's Cresselia.
Yeah,
I don't want to go on with my idea, but that's
or
not
if
my
she's not an agent of Gracilia.
I've worked out a theory that I'm like, do I say it on the vlog? But I
Yes.
won't, because it's like
Sure.
it's so deep that I want it to be part of Chase's development, and that's the only reason why I want it. But it's like,
Share on Discord.
no,
Poke.
it's so I don't even want to believe the theory I've come up with, because it's absurd to the point of being arkish. You know what I mean? Like, it's like Hark
It's
would
not
do
the fun
something like this.
kinds.
So we'll see. I'm waiting to a couple more levels. We'll find out where this goes.
So, does Deja Vu do readings on Pokemon? Because I could see that being something Tiffany would want to drag you to.
I'm sure she can. I'm sure she can.
She's an oracle.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you believe that her power level is actually blue?
Nope.
No.
No.
No, you don't think her power
No.
level split. Okay.
Oh, out of character, I don't. In character, Timmy's like, why would she lie?
Yeah, why would she lie?
Except for it's not like Noir doesn't lie too. Question mark.
Cassie thinks she was lying.
Yeah, you've got like the psychic radar. It's like,
Do you believe Sabrina is second to highest here? Do you believe she's?
I can believe she's not the absolute highest.
You can believe she's.
She is definitely, a well-known trainer and everything, and a well-known psychic at that. But I can believe she's not the best. Like no one ever was.
Not only is she that high, but she also has a white ribbon too, which is a distinction.
Yeah.
A thing of distinction. So, but watch out for
Certainly powerful, of course.
certainly very powerful. Yes. Cool.
The meeting went well, I think.
Yeah, surprisingly well. It's like, okay, stuff's gonna go down. This is normal.
Yep. It's normal.
Except for the talking and telepathy. Huh. Cool.
It's just like everyone was so concerned with like
was
people
like, oh,
turning on them as the visitors.
Yeah.
And then nothing happened.
It's like,
I mean,
chill.
I told you.
I mean, they let that AAA guy in.
yeah.
The Alcoholics Anonymous guy, that AA guy in.
It's like AAA, that's auto insurance.
AAA.
they're probably ready fine. He just
It's a
wants
different
free
meeting.
food. Just get
It's another meeting that he went to, I'm sure. You kind of probably feel like this is just what he does. He just goes into whatever committee meetings and just eats all the food.
How come he's never told Chase?
Oh, are you kidding? Chase has probably joined him.
Yeah, Chris has probably joined him before. What meeting is this again? I was like, oh, okay.
No,
This
we
can't
show up
be
and
AA.
Chase
They
is
don't
there
have
eating
sugar
too.
cookies.
It's like, oh, did you mean this rally?
So, with that being the case, has Chase been to a rally before for the psychics?
No, I don't think he would have gone to that rally. Not,
Okay.
yeah.
Or if he
definitely
did, at
could've
least
done
wouldn't have known.
I think that's Cobblestone's first time. I think he said that.
Okay.
It was his first
He
time.
did say
Just
that.
checking.
So,
It's fun.
it might not be his last, though.
They served him well.
Although by this time,
I'm
I
actually
feel...
curious.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm actually curious. Given the ranking system, what does teleportation do to the ranking system? 'Cause
Exactly. Warper's not included in our notes.
Oh, teleportation was not included. I'll have to add that in. I want to say that teleportation is at least starts at green. I think it starts at
Okay.
green.
Yeah, I was wondering if we didn't have that in this universe for humans.
Is it possible to create a human? Is it possible to build in the rules?
As a player character, yeah.
You can
or
have
Warpers.
teleport. All right, if that's the case, then
It's a class.
yeah, I mean, I guess teleportation can start as early as green level, which is tier 4, and the weakest version would be like I can teleport across the room, but that's it. It's based on distance, I think, and then the highest would be if you are purple or violet, you can teleport essentially anywhere around the world, which is really rare. Super rare.
Yeah.
yeah, you can't even do that in a system without getting like Pokemon powers. Like most of it can go is like 3 times 8. That's if you have Virtuoso and
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
Focus.
it's an extremely rare. There's only been like under a dozen recorded cases of anyone reaching of violet or purple level. There aren't very many at all. In all
Like
cases.
either of the last two?
Either of the last two, indigo or violet. There's very rare cases.
So that either way, Sabrina is like really impressive.
Sabrina is very impressive. I can see Sabrina being able to teleport anywhere around the region. I wouldn't say world. She can
Right, because she
probably
has other
teleport.
powers too.
She has other powers too.
So, anyone else worried about Felicity after the little jail visit?
Yep. It might be. a
I may
thing.
have missed that. I saw when you wrote it in the chat, but I didn't make the connection.
oh
That's where Chase is
wait.
going next episode. Checking on
Sylvan's
Felicity.
related. Oh.
This is where you should fill me in.
Fill him in
As
Is
I'm
it okay?
waiting.
Hark, are you cool with it in the vlog?
if you want to.
We can just regurgitate the information that was given.
Oh no! Well, Chase went to look up a name at the register, the brothers that were registered at the correctional facility because he knew that Sylvain Theroux was in that facility, and he wanted to make sure he was still in that facility. So finding out he's not been in that facility for 3 months is very disconcerting.
He's the one with the pancham. If you remember the guy with the pancham.
Pancham. That was in the first
session.
Ollie took a glance at him, passed it by.
And you actually made a comment about how it was a dark Pokemon, Riz.
Gotcha. I'll have to rewatch that part because I caught when you searched the name, and like I said, I saw, at your row, but I didn't make a connection. So I will go check.
So he is Felicity's ex-husband.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then yes, to answer your question, there is some concern, not from Cassie, she doesn't know her, but.
Oh, she's your Madison. Gotcha.
See,
Okay,
Yeah.
guys, let's talk a list of all the people we talked to that we haven't told each other about yet.
I know. Right?
We'll have a mixer. That'll be great.
Chase would not have
Cassie.
been talking about.
Cassie has her mom and Nevi, and that's.
Yeah.
So this is Felicity. This is Trenton and his family. Don't ask why you're here, brother. Just be happy.
It's just like, who's this person? Why should we care? All right, let's go save him.